There are two versions of Minecraft, Bedrock Edition and Java Edition, and today I'll be showing you how to turn Minecraft Bedrock Edition into Java Edition using resource packs. Now immediately upon opening Bedrock Edition, you'll notice it looks completely different. We've got a whole different menu here, we've got my character in the bottom right hand corner, we've got the marketplace button, as well as the fact that the world menu is completely different, and if we actually load into a world, we can obviously see the loading screen is different as well with all these really cool facts and things, which I really like as a feature. But just Minecraft in general on Bedrock Edition looks a lot different. Like we've got the chat in the top left corner. We can blink. That's a cool feature. But yeah, the game just seems so different. Like my hand looks different. The water looks different. And like the creative menu, that looks completely different. And even blocks inside of it, like the walls, are different on Bedrock Edition as they are on Java Edition. So if you're not a fan of many of those features, this is how to change them. And this video will require you to download some resource packs off of MCPEDL, as well as the Bedrock Tweaks website, which we'll be taking a look at later on. Also, this video is inspired by a video I found by Sit Back in Minecraft, so massive shout out to their channel. But the first pack we are going to enable is one called Java Aspects, which changes textures, sounds, animations, and other features to match Java Edition, and we'll also be applying Java Aspect item icons. Now once you load the resource pack on, you won't notice an immediate difference, but upon loading in, you'll notice some differences. For example, the chat is now down at the bottom, so if I just type something such as subscribe, you'll see that it now pops up in the bottom of the screen rather than right at the top. Additionally, my hand actually looks a lot different, which I think is a really cool feature, and I'm surprised Bedrock and Java just have that difference in general. So this is what it looks like with the packs on, and obviously we've already seen what it looks like with the packs off. But as well as this, opening the creative inventory will also see some differences, as the wall textures now look like Java's, as well as the glass panes, which I didn't even realize were a difference between the two. But on Java Edition, they're like a completely flat texture, whereas actually on Bedrock Edition, I'm pretty sure they're slightly angled, like for walls and like fences and other blocks in the creative menu. Also, that's slightly less noticeable, but the scaffolding texture is also slightly different with the creative inventory, or just the item in general. Like you can see in the hotbar or in the inventory, it doesn't have a connecting bit, but even if I hold it in my hand, it now does, which is a bit strange. Additionally, the Java Aspect packs actually changed the animation for swinging with a sword, and that looks completely different. It looks so much more like we're on Java Edition. It just feels so much different to me. As well as that, tall seagrass has actually changed. So if I just dig a little hole here. On Java Edition, it actually pokes out for water slightly, which is a really cool feature. Where's the bone meal? There it is. So if I just fill this full of water, and then add seagrass to the bottom and bone meal it, you'll see that it now slightly pokes out of water, which is a really cool detail. Additionally, the water texture has actually changed, as for some reason it's different between the two versions. Lots of this I don't really understand why there is so many differences, but as you can see, it's now, yeah, just the Java look of it. It's sort of more like pixelated almost. And just as a side note, this is my creative test world from Java Edition converted to Bedrock Edition, and apparently I'm on day 695 of this world. That means I've played a lot of this world, just creative planning. Another change that this pack introduces is more underwater ambience, which is something Bedrock Edition also doesn't have. But so far, it doesn't entirely look like we're sort of playing Java Edition, as lots of things, most notably like the inventories and the menus, are completely different still. Which is where our next pack actually comes in. If we go over to the resource pack section, we can enable VDX Desktop UI. And enabling this pack, we'll soon see that the Bedrock menu completely changes, and that it now looks nearly identical to Java Edition. As you can see, the player is gone. We've got an accessibility tab, which actually opens the skins, which is a bit strange. But we've got the options page, we've got resource pack page, video settings, general, more settings, music and sounds, credits, language. As well as that, we obviously have access to the multiplayer screen and the marketplace, which I don't really want to look at right now. But we can also go on to single player. The only issue is it doesn't change the world screen because this is a completely different UI system. But if we load up into a Minecraft world, you'll actually notice as well the loading screen is the same as Java's, which is a really cool detail. And when we actually load into a world, you will soon see, if we open our inventory, that the creative menu has completely changed to Java Editions. We now have the different tabs. Obviously, it's not all the same tabs as Java Edition, as I don't believe a resource pack can do it, but it's much more similar to the look of Java Editions, such as opening our inventory. We've got the offhand there, destroy items bit. We also get a search items, which I think looks much nicer than Bedrock Editions does. So we can just search anything like diamond, it will now all come up. But this completely just redesigns the look of the inventories and UI screens within Bedrock Edition. For example, even just looking at the coordinates, sort of at the top left, it will change to block that we're on rather than position. but it's also got a slight highlight around it like the F3 screen does. And as we just saw, opening chat is now completely different. This is sort of a more Java Edition look. So obviously we can type and it will appear in the bottom left as was seen in the Java Aspects pack. But then different UI screens have also changed obviously. So we've got the chest, which is different from Bedrock Edition, as actually Bedrock Edition has a small X in the corner for you to more easily close it. I believe that's for mobile accessibility, but that's all different. It looks different in the smithing table. Another change I forgot to mention is actually the bed icons, completely different textures between the two versions, which Java Aspect fixes. So we now have a 3D bed on Bedrock Edition. Honestly though, one of my favorite parts is just the menus. Like, this is so cool. Options, we can just take a look at all our settings. I love also we can easily change our FOV in Bedrock Edition just from a resource pack. That's honestly one of the coolest parts about Bedrock Edition, is the fact that this isn't any mods or anything. Like Java, you'd need loads of mods to be able to change all of this. This is all just a resource pack with Bedrock Edition. We can access our dressing room from here, all of our achievements, and we can look at all the ones I still have to do. So if you'd like to see a video of me trying that at some point, let me know, and also make sure to subscribe. Now, so far I've shown off how you could turn Bedrock Edition to be more like the look of Java Edition, but we could also go one step further. However, one unfortunate part of this is that all the packs aren't compatible with each other. But maybe if you don't want to too heavily transform the look of Bedrock Edition, these packs will still be perfect for you, as we can enable a pack called Bedrock Tweaks, which is available on the Bedrock Tweaks website, which is very similar to Java Edition's Vanilla Tweaks. And Bedrock Tweaks, similar to Vanilla Tweaks, is essentially a resource pack picker which lets you choose loads of different textures to add into your game. For example, you can now see that there's a 3D sun, or that the grass is slightly variated, or we've got a dark UI, or if I get some other items out, for example, we now have a lower shield, which is like one of my favourite parts of this pack in general. We've also got lower fire, as well as circular log tops, variated dirt textures, and splash XP bottles. But if you watch a lot of YouTube or my videos, for example, you'll see that I use a lot of these packs in just my Java Edition gameplay, so it's nice that Bedrock Edition has their own version of it as well. Now I have to switch over to my llama for this next pack, but this is 3D skin layers. As you can see, my skin is slightly more 3D now, like my ears are a bit more sort of 3D and don't float as much, same with like my arms and my sleeves and things like that. As this pack does what a mod does on Java Edition, and just like with a hat layer, it makes it more 3D to make it look a lot nicer. Now another pack I recommend using for Bedrock Edition is one I also recommend using for Java Edition, but essentially it just adds eating animations into the game. As you can see, either bread, it slowly eats away, same with all of these different foods, whereas normally it just doesn't. I think this just looks so much nicer, especially with things like the fish where it slowly turns into a bone. I think that's just such a cool little detail. Although the only downside is if you want to use the 3D skin pack, you must make sure you're using like a custom skin rather than one of the better customization like character creator skins, otherwise it just won't load in at all. Like my skin, I'm showing my skin right now, but you just can't see it because it just doesn't work and it's not compatible with the pack. Here is another fun pack I recommend using, and this is colorful containers, which I believe there is a Java Edition version of as well. If we open our inventory, you'll actually notice this is very similar to one of the resource packs I've already shown off, as it just changes it to the Java Edition look, which I have to admit is a lot better. But if we go into a building, like, and open a chest, you'll see that we now have a custom chest icon. Same with things like a barrel, or will it change the smithing table? It does. I'm quite curious, does it also change things like, we'll get the cartography table, smoker, and enchantment table quickly. We'll go out here to place them all down. Does it change the enchanting table? Yeah, that looks so cool. I love the animated little bit there. Smoker changes, as well as the cartography table. That looks so cool. But that's just another fun pack you could use. If you've seen it on YouTube before, lots of people use it on Java Edition, so now you can use it on Bedrock Edition. And as I did mention earlier on in this video, most of these resource packs are available on MCPE-DL, other than Bedrock Tweaks, which is available on the Bedrock Tweaks website. But obviously, another great way to find resource packs for Bedrock Edition is to just go on the Minecraft Marketplace and have a look. Obviously, a lot of them do cost real money, which is a shame, but also it's nice to support creators. But you can always filter by free. I mean, you can select textures. I mean, you can take a look at all of the free resource packs that there are to offer, which apparently only by Minecraft. We've got the texture update, which doesn't work anymore, I don't think, as well as a classic texture pack, which just reverts all the Minecraft textures. But if you are willing to spend a little bit of money, you'll be able to find loads of different texture packs available on Bedrock Edition. And I feel like the texture packs are normally quite high quality ones compared to like skin packs and things. Yeah, we've got like a dark mode pack. We've got loads of cool things actually. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe, and let me know which one of these packs you'll be using in the future.